What is going on, guys? We are finally here for the next season in the FM22 Journeyman save. It has been a long one. I've been spending maybe 1 to 2 hours a night, kind of my schedule now. That's how much I'm really going to be able to play and get through the saves. That's how much I'll be able to play the game. After I have a busier day, I got a bit more other work going on these days. So, hopefully you guys understand that going forward. I feel like I need to say that again because it was just over a week since the last episode. But man, I've gone through a lot. We've been doing as much as we can each night, and then I'm like, nah, I'm stuffed now. Got to get a rest. So we're going to point out some different, I took screenshots. So there's screenshots from up to a week ago, basically, from the start of preseason till now. But anyway, hopefully you enjoy this episode today and also this upcoming season. I'm going to go hard for it because I know we're not in Champions League, we're Europa League, but I want to do my best to have that success to round up this series over the next 2 seasons and with Leverkusen. So let's see, have we truly put the team in a position to do that, to rebuild and all of that? We'll just go over to the club screen so there's not too, I don't put the screenshot of the finances. So that's what it was looking like near the start. We had our budgets as well, but at the same time we're going to have repayments. But a positive we have, if you go to, can we see the clubs, our clubs? We'll get there eventually. Development Center. We have got a reserve team now. We got that message and that's so good. That's going to be so good. But before we see any other new signings and all that, we'll go into it. But it's going to be it's much better. I can make players available for our reserves now, and players that are not over 19. That was the situation. They weren't playing games, and it's different this season, we'll just say, in terms of our squad. We'll reference that when we talk about the squad, but let's keep it nice and simple and go into the transfers. But I'm not trying to make this video too long, but generally we have made, quite a bit of moves, but I won't go on a whole tangent of players individually, but let's point out just key sales. Hoover to Arsenal, again, spent a bit of time on him, probably the biggest one. They approached him from what I remember correctly. Like I said, that move was probably 4 or 5 days ago, game time, or when I played it, or real life time. That would make sense. But anyway, I'm pretty sure they got him at his release clause. Because I can't remember negotiating for him. So that definitely was the case. We didn't negotiate for him. Arieta, in the end, 2.4. We didn't sell for. Look, we really spent. We spent. We spent. Arieta, a lot of teams are after him, but not teams of the same tier. I wouldn't say this, but I'd say Atletico. There was teams below Atletico's ability, and I was surprised. Sometimes you get surprised by teams that come for your player, but you don't know how they're going to plan to utilize him, but surely, he's a squad player. Fair enough. Kind of how he was for us, to be honest. And I was saying that I don't mind him as a squad player, but you always got to look to improve. For me, technically, he's not good enough if you're going to need to use him in some games. And he's quick. That's about it. Perch told we found a replacement for him. We didn't really use him as a starter, but, as that rotation kind of midfielder, we get our improvements there. Then Agatha and all these names, none of them, you could see them all here, none of them really relevant. They're either just letting go on a free or a loan. Though if we go into free transfers, there's, again, none of those names relevant. It was all those types, sure, some players in the under-19s, but a lot of them, and don't forget, Linero, we got on a free. If you remember him, I was like, this guy will sign because we can get him for cheap. Yeah, if you remember, the club he was from, free. Value. Just say 30 million. just say 30 million, and see he's a guy who's going to benefit so much from there being the reserve team now, the second team, because he's going to find it a bit hard to break into everyone. Yeah, we're not going to try and make spoilers of the signings. Well, they're just names you could see anyway. But anyway, go back to transfers. He's someone you can make some money off. We'll talk about financials as well. But yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time on the outs. I think Hoover, he's probably the most notable one. When you look at the money, then Arieta was probably next because we still used him, but wasn't too much on the money. So Darko, just going to show you guys that he's permanently joined, but we knew he almost doesn't count, but he does at the same time. But in terms of players that you would want to know of, so Alejandro Carrion, we made a lot of signings. I'm really not going to, maybe after this episode, I'll search how to search some names. But yeah, we'll go with Alejandro Carrion there from Tigres, UANL. A bit dangerous trying to pronounce some names. Anyway, Carrion, 7.5 million, relatively cheap. Quite a few players, some of them were just cheap and some of them had release clauses. He just had a little knock there as well. He comes in. We did need a bit of a DM replacement, and is it even going to show up there? Yeah, Dubois, because that's his rating for a CM, a centre mid. That's why he's that low. But he's a D. I thought so. I thought so. If you go back to Dubois, who I still think, he shows up second there, and Dan Mulder, we'll talk about him as well. He's still going to be okay, but it's high potential. But I suppose I look at his passing, not the greatest, but that potential, the potential is in him. Alejandro, he's going to be definitely a central player in the midfield. Great aerially. 191 centimeters, so he's pretty tall there with the 191. So for his price tag, he was another that is about 30 million value as well that we sniped for 7.5 mil, which is pretty good. Joe Galhart, familiar name at QPR. We signed for 3.3 million. They were trying to get rid of him, but he wasn't valued. He's not valued too much. But I thought he was showing up for some deep, if you see those attributes, you'll see why he shows up in my search filters when I look for at least 13 or 14 of an attribute for a role. I think we were looking for inside forward, and if you look at that right there, you're covering those attributes pretty well, doesn't he? So that's what we were looking for. And he's strong on both feet as well. So he's going to be real handy. So I think he's a value signing. The money wasn't too much. Cheap, I would have to say. But really, there's value in his attributes. And the type of player he is as well. The positions he can play. Good on both feet. Strong on both feet. Very strong. Fairly strong. We get different words for the difference of strong, but basically he's strong on both feet. And he's an exciting player for us, or exciting signing because of those reasons. Next up, Martin Coyle, 165k. If the name is unfamiliar, it should be, because he is a regen from Man City. If you want to see a bit of his career path, he just came through Man City's academy, under 18s. And potential. When we scouted him and we hover over the potential, it was described as world class. So now, obviously, we've got him. So it says the excellent rating for the senior team. But when it was a scout report, said world class. Value. Again, I don't want to, hype myself up too much. Look at the value. And of course, generally values always boost. They always boost when you sign, but 165k. If he becomes half of that value, it's an amazing deal. If it becomes half of that potential ability, if he becomes 3-star, if he becomes a solid squad player, he's good. But even if he just gets a little bit lower, that 4-star, be a good first team player, you're laughing, mate. You're absolutely laughing. Coyle, let's go. Great signing there. And Ibrahim Kamal. Maybe in the past I'll try and Well, we'll click on him first. You can see from Flamengo, but he's not Brazilian. What is he? What is he? Look where he's from. Egypt. He's from Egypt. I know I didn't have to hover over it. It says it there. And as a winger, oh, look at the improvements. Yeah, Mo Salah? Mo Salah regen doesn't necessarily work like that in Football Manager. And he's right-footed. So when we signed him, he had nothing at left wing. So we go training inside forward. We're trying to train him there. So he cuts in on his right. And his training levels are absolutely amazing. And sure, he may not be to the specific type, like, he's not left-footed. He's not Mo Salah, he's not left-footed. But his ability, his finishing's a bit low. But he's still going to be a good attacking player. He's still going to be converting. He's had a good pre-season. Converting, I mean goals. 2 goals, 4 assists. I think he'll be a bit more creative. Or at least, he's a wonder kid as well. He's a wonder kid winger from Egypt. He's Mo Salah. Don't argue with me. Let's go. Yeah, Ibrahim Kamal, very, very exciting. And he also didn't really have that big move from Zamalek. So, yeah, I think it's all lining up for him. He made that move to Brazil, and we signed him for a decent amount. It wasn't like crazy. Brazil always has good release clauses. They always generally do. And the release clause is generally cheaper for foreign clubs than clubs in the same division, same country. You know how it is for those Brazilians. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Another position changer. I was really struggling. We were looking to find, someone else as a right inside forward. You can see left-footed. You can see how I would have targeted him. He looks pretty good. He's Finland. Well, he's Finnish. Finnish sounds like a finishing. But yeah, he's Finnish and Scottish. There we go. He's Finnish and Scottish. And you can see those attributes targeted. Yeah, he would have showed up when we're looking for 14 and above and to match a lot of those attributes. And as you can see, what they do in attacking midfield. But if you go, it's like some positions you can't see. Yeah, it's not suitable, but you can see that he would be good as an inside forward. Good agility as well. He's got a lot of those good attacking attributes. He's got some traits, long shots, a star attribute for him, and a few mentals. He's quite good. Again, he's pretty tall, 187. And that value once more is generally, like 22 million. Even though we've spent big, and we almost weren't. If you take a look at the dates, we finished off. I felt like we might as well utilize our budget that we have left. And then, Linero, we already talked about him. Odriozola, for me, if you're rebuilding, you need experience, even if it's just for 1 or 2 seasons. And, if it's what generally my goals are for now, maybe not part of a general rebuild, but to what we want to achieve over the next couple seasons, Odriozola, 16 natural fitness, he's not going to drop too much. And there's the value. There was some others, players similar age to him, like 33, 34, but the teams are wanting 2 or 3 or 4 million for the player. But you get him at 205, and when he's still playing to the level in the last, 3 seasons, when he's turned 30, you can say, he's another year older when you've got him, but 16 natural fitness, he's not going to drop attributes too much. And again, he's got a mix of those attributes that are 12 and above, and a fair amount of them that are 14 and 15 too, if you think about the mentals and physicals. So, I'm not going to buy that he's a bad signing because of his age, because also the amount we signed him on. And I guess, Wagnerman, he might rotate from left back to right back Wagnerman, but we definitely have enough there. And Coyle, blood him, and I want to give him enough games so he can develop this season and be good for next season. We'll just have to see, but it's all about getting that strength in the squad. And then we were hunting That's why this took long, man. Playing this, 1 to 2 hours each night. But we were bargain hunting 6 million, and then his value is more than that. Frederick Bjorkan, something like that. Work rate really good. He's another experienced player. When I'm looking for the experience, natural fitness 16 and above, because especially that he just hit 30 as well. It's like, well, actually, we are in August, so we get to 31. But what I mean is, we sign him. He's 30, so he's in the early 30s, as early as you could be, 30. With that natural fitness, he's still gonna have over the next couple seasons. I think it depends on our budget. Like if we have a really good season, have a great budget for next season, we can maybe play it a bit differently. We can get some more stars in opposed to bargain hunting. But for me, we needed to bargain hunt this season. Our squad size was so small. If you see how many players we got rid of, you're like, oh, only a couple players that you used, but so many of those 2-star rubbish players we weren't using. Our squad, when we show it, it will look a whole lot different. And then another 6 million, Paulo Henrique, Brazilian. They were just cheap on their release clause, and you're like, oh, no, you can't rely on him. But again, only 19 years old, stamina 17, agility 16. So that makes him a bit quicker, even though his pace is only 11. That agility, gets him up a little bit more. Look at this. He's fairly strong on his left. We know he's right-footed, so that he could develop into a midfielder if we need, or... it just depends how he develops. He's 19 and could still have a bit more growth, as you can see. It doesn't say he's a wonder kid, but he's got that high potential, which is always nice to see. And then we'll go back. So many transfers. You may have seen this guy. I think, we put him right into the under 19s. Simply, he could push to almost be into the reserve or a second team, the reserve team. He's got some nice attributes. What's that? One technical, that's 17, and then 3 of mental. That's pretty good for an 18-year-old. I looked at him and I'm like, 550k, if anything, he could get some value. He may not, his overall current ability might not, but it's the potential still there as well. But for this season, probably a no. That passing, I don't know if he's going to be good enough overall, but I think definitely to make some money on. So Maicon, another Brazilian, another bargain price. He was, 11.25 generally. You see that through our signings. Physically real good. Natural from centre mid to centre back. And DM in between there. We were targeting him as a DM. Dan Mulder, he wasn't. We weren't looking at him as a DM. I like when you can do that, when they could almost seem better in another position. But anyway, you can see that he's a DM that's really good defensively. He's tackling for sure. Good teamwork. This is really... we like to use a defensive midfielder, so that can sum it up there. It really gets a lot of the attributes in there, which is good. But we could use him at centre-back if we need. Good jumping reach. And he's 2 meters. A 2-meter Brazilian... there's just... I want to see him in game. You might not tell his height so much, but we'll have to see. Again, we won't speak too much on him. Next up, Claudio. I'll go with Espiguinha, something like that. I think that's close enough. It's a pretty rare name, actually. I searched how to pronounce it on Google, and only one link showed up. And when you click the speaker, nothing. It didn't even say the name. So it was one of the lesser popular websites, probably. So, pretty rare name for people to know how to pronounce anyway. But, let me know if I'm pretty close for those that know. Espiguinha, he was the replacement for Perchtold. That's what I said. Perchtold we barely ever used. So this is our upgrade. For a lot of those 2-star guys we weren't using, we were kind of avoiding using last season. And we were, pretty strong on our starting 11 and maybe a few subs. This is where the improvement is. And sure, you look at his technicals and a bunch of them are quite poor. But the ones that are highlighted are the only ones that fucking matter, mate. As I said, it doesn't matter. I can swear now, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. YouTube, get me if you want. But yeah. His best attributes make him world class, but his worst ones might bring him down a peg. But if you can just play him to get the very best out of him, he's fucking brilliant. Should I just go loose now? Do you guys like it or not? But anyway, there's no holding back anymore. Let's go. Second last signing, and I've gone so different. My habits change over the years. If he couldn't play left wing, I would just avoid him completely. I'll be like, oh, it's too hard to train him, which I think it used to be from my memory. It seemed it was so hard to train a player. Like, they would have nothing there. Sure, he's makeshift already, but that's just in pre-season. Players become, well, maybe not natural, but accomplished maybe within like a month or two, which is, maybe more realistic, especially if you use them there, but we haven't even played a game yet. But yeah, we'll click there so you can at least see some attributes for a striker. But yeah, we're definitely looking for him as an inside forward. But sure, backup striker as well. It's always good to have a bit extra. It's interesting that Almada, he shows us the highest rating as a striker and deep lying forward. But yeah, surely Darko. And Darko, we gave him number 9, was 11 last season. But yeah, he's our number 9. He's going to be our main goal scorer. Only thing, finishing isn't as high as it could be. Oh, hold up. You're probably asking the same question. Was he? I almost forgot. We'll go, there must have been, I know. You're like, wait, if you're not, there was at least one other sale, Dan Mulder, who you've seen the name of. Looking at our squad, basically, we had 3 main centre-backs, and I was kind of just needing that 4th. And I was in 2 minds. Do we go for a loan just for backup? I'm like, we had the money there. When I was like hesitant, you can see his ability with a bit of potential and a bit of versatility in his positions as well. So he's pretty good. Those last few signings, I was like, we might need that extra versatility. We had those 3. Yep, those 3 there. He doesn't kind of interrupt them because he's multi-talented with his positions. But yeah, I just thought we needed. You're like, oh, we could use Maicon and Dubois there as well. But doesn't this team look a bit better than last season? And Yari Linera, just keep in mind, these call them worse. I had good things to say about Coyle, didn't I? All these guys have high potential. Those other, last season they didn't. And generally we're going to be giving them reserve team games, what we couldn't last season. So, and then if you look at the potential, look at that. Maximum potential, that many guys now, and say 4-star and above from Dan and above. That's pretty exciting. Then you look at some of these other guys, they're decent first team players. In my opinion, the squad has been rebuilt, and it's been rebuilt really good. I didn't want to get rid of, I didn't want to splash. I was searching for guys, sure, they were good players, 40, 50 million. Someone also who would have been amazing as a DM, but wanting a stupid, not stupid amount, money hungry, it's fair enough, in his last few seasons, wants to, he wants to beef up that super. But, we needed to go this way because our squad was about half of this when we sold everyone. But also, what we were going to do is we were going to go through the there was going to be at least someone else because there was one. Oh, did they have Xerxes? Oh, that's a different Xerxes, not the big name. Is he related to him? Yeah, Josh. Oh, he's his brother, Joshua Xerxes. How's he going? Yeah, he's been, a youngster over the first few, last few years. You know what we're saying. So, actually is related to him. So, there might be more. Yeah, obviously, I forgot about Angelo. Angelo pissed us off so much. Luke Bacchio to Man City for 77 million. So obviously there was more than our transfer budget and the money we were given. Like, look at that value. He's not that good. Fuck off, FM. Told you, I'm a loose screw now because, it doesn't matter. Just get lost. Get lost, Football Manager. Don't try and tell me we had a player that was 100. That's Mbappe level. That's not Mbappe. Mbappe is not still going, is he? Let's have a look. He's not Mbappe level. Kylian, he's still going. No, he's only 30. Okay, we're not far. He's not, not for sale. 450k. But that's what the kind of value, like the very best in the world would. You're not that Mbappe, Ronaldo, Messi. No, you've got one green attribute in your technicals, mate. Like, I took the money, and I'm not trying to hate on him. It's more so how the game is reading him. I'll take the 77 mil and dip, to be fair. He was good. That's a good player. And one of your better players, because, we had a good setup and all that. And he's good. I'm not disregarding his ability. So quick as well. But he's not one of... Like, look at that wage. Ooh, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. Like, sometimes you don't think about it so much. You're just, playing FM. And then you just... Yeah, that's a lot of money, man. Go in your bank account per week. Bloody hell. That would be nice. Just for a year. Just for a year or a month. I'll take those wages for a month and I'll be good. I'll be good to retire. But anyway... Angelo, we don't need to talk. I'm happy with the amount we got for him. And again, he's not worth that. He's not worth that. So, that's absolutely huge. Really, rent, I'm like... if we go by dates... Yeah, we only need to worry about these guys. Yeah, Luke Bacchio, Ante, either way, he's gone... Not as much of him, not as much of a key player. Yeah, really only the guys out of here were, Luke Bacchio, Angelo, no one else. No one else, really. So there wasn't too many in those, the back part. Ricardo, Longy, that was in January. So there was only a few moves there. So now we're going to round things up. Guys, we're not going to play a game for this episode. This is just a squad rebuild type thing. And we will, I think. We'll do that in the next episode, because then I could probably get it upload 2 days in a row, just so you guys can get that. And then you'll play Bayern, and then we'll play a bit more, a few games off camera, because then it's so weirdly matched, like a friendly, and just so we can separate it, into 2 uploads, and I think it'll be better to work it out that way. And of course, we are the reigning champions, which was pretty good. The DFB Pokal that we got that last season, let alone how we rebuilt the team. We didn't rebuild in terms of signings, really. It was just performances. And so it's going to be interesting. You got like a Valencia friendly in there as well. Our friendlies were not too bad. It was interesting because I always have my assistants and we can save that. We made some staff signings as well. So we'll do that, and then we'll do buy-in in the next episode. So we kind of, it's a big pre-season when you have to split it into 2. Or the episode will be probably close to an hour if we get a game played. But anyway... When we lost against Victoria Pleasant, I thought it was a bit, are we doing badly? But then we really recovered. You might say, 3. If it ended there, you might have worried a bit because, they're easy beats. Yeah. But I think my assistant must have arranged these extra friendlies, because I arranged this one to be around a week before Bayern. That makes sense, right? Then I'm like, they added a couple extra. I'm like, sure. That's 4 days later. It will be okay. But we're going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode today, guys. It was a pretty big it was a bigger more than normal. If it was back in our normal times, this would be a big preseason that would play through a lot. And I think it's just shown, with all we went through so far. But again, I appreciate the support on the videos. Definitely when the new game drops, obviously, FIFA is just, FIFA 23 will upload when that releases. But yeah, definitely I'll sort my schedule out to go hard from, FM23 as well. Hopefully get a good series going. Last couple years, we've had some really good series on the channel, so check them out if you haven't. And if you have watched them, yeah. And even a Journeyman a couple years ago on Twitch, we had a really good save as well. So, yeah, I think we just need that. Yeah, maybe give me some suggestions for FM23, what would be a really good save to, maybe from going into the hundreds of views to step up to the thousands, to compete with the other guys. I'm kind of out on my own in Australia, kind of separate everyone else from the UK. Apart from Zealand, basically. But yeah, he's done great stuff. But anyway, I don't really like talking about other people. It's kind of weird. But it originated starting from my own thing and where we want to get back to. And yeah, hopefully we will be able to do that at some point. But yeah, we're going to have to stick to our current schedule, which is lovely. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video, but also hopefully you're excited how the squad is looking, because I'm liking the look of it. I'm liking the look of it. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this episode today. Likes, comments, does help us get back to that though, so greatly appreciate it. See you guys next time.